100, 25 upon 100, 33 upon 100, right? So this 35 or 25 or 33, it is the value that is expressing the part of whole or fraction out of this 100, right? So any fraction in this form whose denominators are 100, the numerator value is known as the percentage of the number. In simple terms, it could be understood like this. All right, guys. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now later on we talked about some conversion of ratio into percentage as well, right? So if you're provided with the ratio, let's say 15 upon 20, so convert this into percentage, what we need to do?
So we need to multiply it by 100.
Simply multiply it with 100. Okay, so you get 75%. All right. And what about percentage of conversion into ratio? So if you are provided with 75%, it's a percentage. Now convert it into ratio.
So
Conversion of percentage into ratio. Yeah.
So we need to divide 75 by 100, then multiply it by the number.
No need to multiply it with the number. Simply, in order to convert a percentage into fraction, you simply divide it with 100. So it's going to be what? 75 multiplied 1 upon 100. That is 75 upon 100. Okay, so it's 3 upon 4. So the ratio here is 3:4, isn't it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is obvious. Am there any confusions? Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, what are the applications of the percentages? Okay, so the application of percentage is basically concerned with finding percent out of a given value, right? So in mathematical calculations, in businesses, okay, in tax calculations, in banks, in the calculation of interest rate, for calculation of GST, in these field, we basically use percent. We don't use ratios there. We don't use fractions there, right? So if someone keeps his or her amount in bank and he goes to find out about the interest rate, the bank employee won't say that, sir, your interest rate is 1 upon 4. He won't tell the tell the interest in fractions, or he won't say that your interest rate is 3:4%. He will say that the amount which you are going to keep in your which you have kept in your bank account, interest rate on that amount has been 2.5% or 5% annually, like this, guys, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
is basically the application of percentages. Okay, so talking about percent of a number, so how do you find percent of a number?
So we simply multiply it by 100.
Okay, so percent of a number, yeah, we divided with 100. That is good. Okay, so let's say there's no space here now. Okay, look, we solve this one now, finding the increase or decrease in percent, right? So
Yes,
before
sir.
that, before this concept, let's quickly revise this one as well. I think we discussed this in previous class. I'm just revising this. So percentage and its application, which we just saw. So how do you calculate percent of a number? Percent of a number, guys. So for example, you are provided with a number B. Okay, so its percent can be calculated by percent P upon 100 into B. So take for an example, 16% of rupees 75. How much is it? So you are going to write, take this 16 as take this 16%, represent it in P. Okay, and this 75 here is B. So using this equation, using this expression, we can find out the percent. We can find out 16% of rupees 75. So it is going to be solved like this, using the formula B equals to P upon 100 multiplied B. So P here is how much, Ahmed?
Yes, sir.
P here is how much? This P.
Um,
P here is
for profit.
percentage. No, not profit. We will come to that later. B
Oh,
here is the given number in the question. Okay. Don't get confused about this. Just keep it simple. So P here is the percentage. Like the question is asking 16% of 75 rupees is how much? Okay. So take this 16 as P, that is percentage. It is obviously given here. And B here is 75. So P upon 100, that is 16 upon 100. And B here is 75. So that gives you how much? Calculate this one. 16 upon 100 multiplied 75. Find this one and quickly tell me. See if it's 8, 10, 11, 12. What is the value? Yes, Arhan,
That's
Ahmed. It's 12, no?
yes, sir.
Okay, Ahmed, you also got 12?
yes, I'm solving it.
Okay. Ahmed, you need to work on your calculation speed, I guess. Okay. On an average, apart from the assignments which I give to you guys, how many questions you guys solve on a daily basis? Honestly, tell me.
There
So
are
5 to 10 questions.
5 to 10 questions. Ahmed, you?
sir, I do 7 and 8 only.
7 and 8 only. Look, you guys need to be solving at least 15 to 20 questions on a daily basis, right? And when you guys will move to class 9 and 10 on a daily basis, to be able to perform good in your class, you need at that time you will be required to solve at least 40 to 50 questions on a daily basis. Okay, so increase the number of questions you guys solve on a daily basis. That will help you in improve your calculation speed. So Ahmed, I have observed that your calculation speed is a little bit slow. Okay,
Oh,
so it's 12 here. Okay, all right. Now see the above headline, finding the increase or decrease in percent, that we have discussed here. Okay, so in the notes you guys can make this heading percentage and its application, and then write second subheading percent of a number, and then you guys are required to write this expression, that is B equals to P upon 100 into B. Okay, so let me begin from the beginning. First you guys will write about fraction, ratio and percentages. Okay, that is the first note, first page of your note. Then in that is also first part. Okay, then in the second part you guys will write about this
Sir,
percentage and its application.
can I take screenshot?
Yeah, sure. Take the screenshot of the first one. Look, let me just switch it to first one. Yeah, take the screenshot.
So done.
Okay, now take the screenshot of this one. Ahmed, you also take the screenshots.
Certain.
Okay, now take the screenshot of this one. Now this one, that is going to be the third one, third page. Okay,
Certain.
okay, now take this one.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, good. Now take the screenshot of this one. Look, I'm just, let me clear it. Yeah, take the screenshot of this one.
done, sir.
Done. Okay, now let's move
So
ahead.
can you
This one.
revert that slide? Yes, sir.
Okay, also let me shall I write this one as well? B equals to P upon 100 multiplied B. If you missed that one. All right, then let's move ahead. So in our previous class, we talked about a case where we are required to find increase or decrease in percent, right? So the shopkeeper is selling the smartphone at an increased price, so we can find out the new price of the smartphone using the formula, that is original number plus increase in percentage multiplied number. I guess you guys got this one. Okay. And in the
So
same manner, yeah.
So can we also use the formula you told us, that P is equal to P by 100 multiplied by B?
This one.
Yes, sir.
No, this one is already this one is only used to find out the percentage of a number. Okay, but here,
Okay, sir.
in order to calculate the new number, for example, new price will be equals to original price. So original price, see this formula, pay attention to this formula while I'm writing the values here. So new number or new price here, it is equal to original number. So original number, Ahmed, it was 15,000 original price. Okay. Increase in percentages was how much, Arhan? 5%?
5%.
5% multiplied number. What was the number? 15,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you will calculate this, we got 15,750, I guess, right? That was the answer.
Yes,
That
sir.
was the increased percentage. Okay. Then there might be some losses as well, where we saw that a person is selling the price at 9 rupees. His purchasing price was 10 rupees, but he is selling the price at pen at 9 rupees. So he was incurring a loss of 10%. Okay. So how do you find the new number when there is a decrease in percentages? Okay. For example, the cost of a mobile phone is rupees 15,000, guys. Find the new price if there is a decrease of 5%. So how do we do that? See, for
So
that purpose, we use this formula. New number equals to original number minus decrease in percentage multiplied number. Okay. So I'm solving this one for you so that it becomes more clear, and then I will give a next question. All right.
yes,
Ahmed, you are able to relate, or are you missing the concepts? I hope not.
Yes, I'm not missing the concept.
Good. So new price equals to original number. What is the original number? That is original price, 15,000 minus decrease in percentage. So decrease in percentages. So percentage, how much it's decreasing? 5% into the number. What is the number? 15,000.
so 15,000.
Good. So 15,000 minus. So this percentage will be converted into a ratio here, right? So you will convert it into ratio. So it will be 5 of 100. Remember, to convert percentage into ratio, we simply divide it with 100. Okay. Now, quickly find out the value was what it's going to be.
So it's 750.
It's 750 here. So you subtract 750 from here, then you will get your answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's going to be 14,250 rupees. That is the new price. So is the seller incurring loss or gain in this case? Huh, Ahmed?
Yes, sir. Loss.
Is the mobile seller having loss or gain?
Loss
Loss of how much rupees?
of
Of how much rupees? Pay attention to the solution. The answer is
one,
hidden there.
oh yes, 1,450.
What are you saying, Ahmed? Arhan, you tell me.
So the loss is 750.
Yeah,
Yes,
loss is
sir.
750. Look, Ahmed. Earlier, the cost of the mobile phone is 15,000. Okay, but now it is being sold at price of 14,250. Why? Because there was a decrease of 5% in its cost price. The seller is selling it at 5% lesser price. So 5% out of 15,000, we find it out to be 750. So suppose you have got, let's say you have got some stationery items which you bought for 50 rupees, but you sold it for, let's say, you sold it for 45 rupees. So how much loss you had in this one? This was your cost price, the price at which you bought it from somewhere. Now you sold it for rupees 45.
5 is the
5. Yeah. So 5 here is basically the difference between the original price and the new price, right? So same is the case here. You subtract the new price from the original price and you get the loss here. All right. Okay, good then. Okay. So that is basically increase and decrease in percentage, which we just discussed here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now then we come to concept of loss and profit. Okay, so seller obviously in one case he was having profit, in the another one he was having loss. Okay. So before you talk about loss and profit, first you guys need to understand what is selling price and cost price. Okay.
Sir, can you give us a question?
Questions on the previous one.
Yes, sir.
Questions like
You
this.
said you will give us questions.
Okay. I told you I will give you guys one question. Yeah, sure. Okay, thanks for reminding. So the question is the cost of a basket full of apple is rupees 12,000. Okay. The farmer sold it in the market at a decrease price of 11,500 rupees. Okay. I guess it will be difficult. First, solve the simple one. Okay, then I will ask you to find the percentage. Okay, so at a decrease, the decrease of 6%. All right. Find the new price. Okay, simple. The question is simple here.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a basket full of apple. Its price is 12,000 rupees. Okay. Now the farmer has sold it in the market at a decreased price of 6%. Find the new price. So you guys can take help from the formula given above here. Right.
Sir, can I write the answer in the chat box?
Yeah, sure. Write the answer in the chat box. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And did you guys solve the assignment? Let me just check the previous assignment which I received from you guys. Okay. The assignment was no Sandus. The last assignment I have received was from Ahmed. Ahmed, you sent the assignment of square and square roots. Okay. But in calculation, you have done some mistakes. Okay. You have done some mistakes while calculating the square roots using the long division method, remember? So in that you have done some basic mistakes. Okay. Like out of like most of the questions are correct, but in some question there are some basic mistakes. So In next class, I will discuss those questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And what about the assignment of cube and cube roots? I didn't receive the assignment from you guys. Aran, you also haven't sent the assignment of cube and cube roots, I guess.
Sir, I have completed the assignment, but I'm having trouble sending them.
Summer vacation holidays. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No. What did you say? I didn't get it properly.
Sir, I'm actually having trouble sending assignments. It says that it can go to.
You can send it on the WhatsApp, I guess. On WhatsApp, there
Sir,
shouldn't
I've
be any problem.
sent them in the WhatsApp since the website isn't working.
You have sent on the WhatsApp, no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir,
So
but the website isn't working.
okay. I will make sure that gets corrected very soon. Okay. Anyways, solve the question quickly.
Sir, I've sent it.
Yeah, I just saw. Okay. Good. Yeah, that is correct, Arhan. Very good. Ahmed, you also send the solution.
Yes, sir, but I'm having some trouble solving the question, sir.
Okay, look here. So the formula is new price equals to original price here. I'm again writing the number. As per the question, it should be original price. So it's original price minus decrease in percent, decrease in percent multiplied number. So I'm writing over here what is given in the question. All right. So original price as per the question, what is it, Ahmed? You tell me.
The 12,000.
12,000. Okay. Decrease in percent.
6%.
6%. Okay. Now simply put the values in the given equation. You will get the answer. So it's 12,000 minus 6% multiplied 12,000, right? So 12,000 minus, you need to convert this percent into fraction form here. So you simply need to put a denominator, put a 100 in the denominator, right?
Yes, sir.
I hope now it will be easier. Yeah. So
Yes.
these two zeros will cancel these two zeros. So it's 6 multiplied 120. So you get 12,000 minus 720. Okay. So take the screenshot and you will solve further. You will solve it further yourself.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay. Now we are moving ahead now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, guys, talking about the profit and loss, first you guys need to know about what is the selling price and the cost price. Okay. So I will tell you about that in this in here. So cost price and selling price, what does it? So the cost price is basically the amount paid to purchase an article. What is it? Cost
So
price.
the amount we
Yeah,
pay to purchase an item.
exactly. The amount paid to purchase an article is simply called as cost price.
Yes, sir.
And in short, we write it as CP, capital CP. Cost price, in short, you will write it as CP. Okay. And what about selling price, guys? Ahmed, try to define it.
The define selling price. So do I have to define the selling price or say the
Yeah,
answer?
just answer or definition. It's the same thing. Just define it.
So, selling price is the price that we purchase anything.
No. Then what about cost price? The price at which you are at which an article is purchased, it is called as cost price. For example, let's say someone owns a shop. Okay, or let's say I own a shop. So the articles the articles or items which I'm purchasing from a wholesaler or from a retailer, that is cost price for me. For example, I have a bag of rice. Okay, so from retailer I purchased it for 150 rupees. Now let's say to Arhan I have sold that bag full of rice to 200 rupees. So in this condition, what is the cost price and what is the selling price?
Yes, sir.
I'm repeating my question. Let's say I'm a shopkeeper. I purchased a bag of rice from a retailer. Okay, you see all the shopkeepers around you, the shopkeepers in the market, they also purchase their products from somewhere now. They purchase it from retailers, from wholesalers. Yeah. So let's say I'm a shopkeeper. I purchased a bag of rice from a retailer at rupees 150. For 150 rupees, I have purchased it. So that is cost price for me. Cost price for me. Rice bag. Okay. And now I am selling it. I am selling it to Arhan, let's say, at rupees 200. So the selling price here is 200. So in this case, you guys can clearly see that the cost price to purchase this rice bag for me was 150 rupees. Okay.
So it's
Now
in
I have
profit.
sold it. Yeah,
So it's in profit.
it's the
That the selling price is greater than the cost price, then it's in profit.
yeah, exactly. That is profit. We will come to that later. First, we are trying to understand about cost price and selling price. So you see, I sold the rice bag to Arhan at a price of 200 rupees. So that is simply selling price. So it is simply the amount at which an article is sold. Okay. Article is sold. Okay. And it is represented as selling price, in short as SP. Okay. Now let's talk about profit and loss. In what condition one person will have profit and at what condition one will have loss. So it's clear that if the selling price is greater than the cost price, for example, if you take the previous example, here I was selling the rice bag at a higher rate of 200 rupees. So obviously I was having a profit of 50 rupees. I bought it for 150. Okay, but I sold it for 200. So 200 minus 150 gave me 50 rupees. So I was having a profit of 50 rupees. So that is profit now. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
exactly. Or let's say if I were to purchase some, if let's say if the cost price, okay, is let's say greater than the selling price. For example, I purchased some article from market at 250 rupees, but I had to sold it for 230 rupees. Yes. So here I'm having a loss now. Loss of how much? Rupees 20.
Yes, sir.
So here from this, you guys will conclude two things. One thing is that profit is gained when selling price is greater than cost price. Yeah. And
Yes,
when
sir.
will be loss incurred? Loss is incurred when cost price is greater than selling price. Is that clear to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ahmed, is it clear to you as well? Yes, Ahmed, are you there?
Oh, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. I got it. My
Okay, so
mic was broken.
take a screenshot of this slide.
Okay, sir.
So me too.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, I've taken the screenshot.
All right.
I've taken
Now, good. Okay. So cost price and selling price, you guys are now aware of. So for, let's say, if you guys know the cost price, okay, and you also know the let's say profit, then can we find out the selling price?
Yes, sir.
If the cost price, let's say it's 110 rupees, and the profit on selling an article whose price is 110 rupees, the profit obtained on it was 125, then the selling price will be what?
Um,
So it will be 135.
135 rupees, 135. Yeah. So can we not conclude from this that cost price plus profit is equal to selling price? Yeah, isn't it, guys?
Yes, sir.
So note one thing, two more things here, that selling price is actually equal to cost price plus profit. All right. Okay. Now take one more case. Okay. What if you are provided with selling price, and from that selling price you minus the profit? You minus the profit. Will we not get the cost price? How? Consider the previous example. The selling price was 135 rupees. Okay. And the profit on it was of rupees 25. So then the cost price of the article must have been 110 rupees. Yeah. Are you guys
Sir.
getting this?
Yes, sir.
Ahmed,
yes, sir.
you getting this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So second thing, we can say that cost price is equal to selling price minus profit. Right. So two important statements here is that selling price is equal to cost price plus profit percent, and cost price equals to selling price minus profit percent. So take a screenshot of this one as well.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay.
Well
Now
done.
one more thing you guys need to notice here, that the loss or the gain a seller is having, it's on the cost price now. It's on the cost
Yes,
price
sir.
now. For example, I purchased something for some rupees, for example 100 rupees. So now I sold it at a loss of 10 rupees, that is I sold it for 90 rupees. So the loss of 10 rupees was on the cost price of the item, that is on 100 rupees. I purchased, let's say, a bat. Okay, I purchased a bat at rupees 100, but I sold it at 90 rupees. So in this loss was of 10. So this loss of 10 rupees is on the cost price. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Try to relate with me. Now I am selling, now skipping the cost price same, I sold it at a price of 110 rupees. So here you are having a gain of 10 rupees. So that 10 rupees is also on the cost price now. The gain of 10 rupees is also on initially cost price. So we say that cost, we say that loss and profit are calculated on cost price. So one more thing you guys need to know here, that loss and profit are on the cost price. So as you guys will solve questions, this statement will become more clear. Take a screenshot of this one as well, and include the third point in the include the third point with these previous points as well, with 1 and 2.
So wait, I'm taking the screenshot.
Yeah.
Done.
Good. Now there's one more concept, guys, here. That is a profit and loss percent. Okay. So see this thing over here. That profit percent is equal to profit upon cost price multiplied 100. That is simply the formula to find a profit percent. Like if you are having a bat whose price is rupees 100, this is the cost price. Now you sold it at a profit of, the profit you had is of rupees 10. Okay, you sold it for rupees 110, you had a profit of 10. So if you are asked to calculate what was your profit percent upon selling this product, so you will calculate it like this. It will be profit upon cost price multiplied 100. So looking from the given value, that is cost price is 100 and profit is 10 here, you need to simply put the values in here. Okay, so Arhan, what is profit here?
10.
10. Ahmed, what is cost price?
Cost price is it's cost is 100.
It's 100 given over here. Okay, multiplied 100. So these two hundreds gets cancelled, that is 10. So you are having a profit of 10%. So this is how we calculate the profit. So remember the previous statement here, as I told you guys. Okay, I guess I removed that. So as I told you guys that loss and profit are calculated on cost price. Remember? Just moments ago I told you. So you can see here that profit is calculated upon cost price now. In the same way, let's say keeping the cost price same of the bat. This was your case 1. Okay, now I'm giving you a case 2 here. At cost price of, I have kept the cost price of bat is same, but now the selling price is rupees 90. So you are having a profit or loss here, Ahmed?
Sir, loss.
Loss, obviously. Yeah, and that is of how much, Arhan? Rupees 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you are required to find the loss percent, so that will be calculated as how? It will be loss upon cost price multiplied 100. So see one common thing in the two formula, that is whether you seek profit or whether you see loss, they are calculated upon cost price, right guys? See the cost price in both of them.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay, quickly find out the answer of this one. What is the loss percent?
So it's 10%.
10%. Isn't it, Ahmed?
sir, it is 10%.
Okay, so Ahmed will dictate me the steps. So what should be I putting in place of loss here?
10
upon
10 upon 100.
100 multiplied 100.
Zeros.
Then
Cancel zeros and answer be 10.
10%. So take a screenshot of this one as well.
Okay, sir. Done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there's a question in this skill check section. The question is that if the cost price of camera is this much and selling price is this much, find its profit or loss percent. Okay. So you guys will solve it as your homework. Okay, after the class. That is not part of the assignment, but
Sir,
try
I've
to solve
already
it.
found it.
Found it. Very good. Okay. Good. Now, let's try to find the selling price and cost price for the given profit percent. Okay. So if you are provided with the profit percent, in some questions, the profit percent, if it's given, profit percent, let's say it's given so and so. So if you are required to find, you will be asked to find the selling price or the cost price. What is it? Profit percent is already given. So that how we can solve. Okay. See in the question, see this illustration. Jagriti bought a TV for rupees itna, that is 18,500. and sold it at a gain of 8%. Find the selling price of the TV.
So you told us how to solve it.
Yes?
So you previously told us how to solve it.
Yeah. I guess we discussed this type of question. Yeah. So that is pretty simple. Okay. Now finding selling price and cost price for the given loss percent. Okay. So how we can do that? Okay. Look, actually, there's no a formula which you guys need to take into consideration here. Okay, that's why I took this question, this topic here. So for example, finding selling price for the loss person, it is calculated like this one, which we will come to in a moment. Similarly, selling price can be calculated in this way: 100 plus gain percent upon 100 into cost price. Okay, so that is a formula which you guys can use. Getting it?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
100 plus gain percent upon 100 into cost price. And what if you are provided with, let's say, only selling price in the question? Okay, and you are asked to find cost price. Then the formula will be 100 upon 100 plus gain percent, whether we say gain percent or profit percent, both are same thing. Okay, multiplied selling price. So let's take some questions and this will become more clear. So the question is, okay, the question is, the question is that cost price is given 1500. Okay, and the gain percent is given 25%. Find the selling price. Okay, so how do you guys find that? Which formula should you guys be using, the first one or the second one?
For the first one.
First one, obviously, because question is asking to find the selling price. Okay, solve this one as well.
Sir,
Yes, yes, Ahmed.
the will the 100 get cancelled?
No, how can it be cancelled? Because here, if you see the in the numerator, these two are in addition, no? So it won't be getting cancelled.
Okay.
Okay. Now here in this case, there's no need to convert this 25% into fraction. Remember this. There's no need to convert this 25% into a form of fraction. Okay, keep it clear in your mind.
Sir, I found the answer. Shall I tell it in writing in the chat box?
Ahmed, are you solving it? Are you on it?
Sir, I'm getting confused.
Okay, Arhan, send the answer. And
Okay,
I'm
sir.
solving it. Ahmed, look at it carefully. So see, the first formula you are required to use here. Since the question in the question cost price is given, gain percent is given. So you are required to find selling price. So since we are already having the two values given in the question, it can be calculated easily using the given formula. So it's all about putting the value, and it all depends upon how good your calculation is. So these two zeros just cancel. So far, are you having still confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, good then. So 125 multiplied 15. How much it gives you?
125 multiplied 15. So can I solve it right now?
Yeah, sure. I guess there should be no a class in which
Sir, I sent it.
you have sent it.
Okay. 1875, sir.
Good. Yes, sir, and that is also correct, and Ahmed as well. 1875.
Sir, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was actually saying that in some class, okay, for half an hour, I will take a dedicated class for basic to advanced mathematics. Okay. So in which I will be talking about how you guys can do calculations like multiplication and division of squaring the numbers, finding the cube roots of the number using shortcut methods. Okay.
Okay, sir.
How do you guys like this idea? Ahmed,
Sir, I'm fine with it.
you will find.
Yes, it's good.
Okay.
Good idea.
Now take another question in which you will be required to find the cost price. So let's say I'm providing you that in the question, selling price is, let's say, 2600 and the gain percent is, let's say, 20, let's say it to be 35%. Okay. So find the cost price in this one. So which formula you guys are required to use? First or second one?
Sir, just second one.
Second one, obviously. The two values are given, selling price and gain percent are given. Simply put the value and you will get your answer. Look, one more thing, like currently we are doing the chapter comparing numbers. So if you guys have assignments remaining from the previous chapter, you can pause it for a while and solve the assignments, complete the assignments for the current ongoing chapter in the batch. Because in that way, you will be able to grasp the concepts better. Okay, like the concepts, the formulas which we are discussing, if you guys, so like we are having class right now, just after the class the assignments will be provided to you guys, just quickly solve the questions on those concepts.
Sir,
Okay.
the assignment reaches to me at like 12 and 1 o'clock. At like,
Yes, Arhan?
sir, the assignment reaches to me at like 12 or 1 o'clock. So I can do it after this class.
Okay. So the it's 100 upon 135 multiplied 2600. Okay, so you guys got it, Ahmed. It's 3510. Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
Arhan, what's your answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you haven't sent the answer.
No, sir.
So this is 52,000 upon 27. Okay, I'm at
Sir, I got
3,510.
the
Yes, Arhan?
value and the
Yeah, it's going to be in decimal. Ahmed, I guess you have done some mistake.
sir, then
Ahmed,
the
that is not
value is,
correct.
I'm sending the value.
Okay, send it. Ahmed, check your solution. Did you use the same method?
Should have used the selling price method instead of the cost price.
That's why you're getting a different answer, no?
Yes,
Look,
sir.
pay attention to the basics. Like you're required to find cost price. Just see what values are given in the question and what you're required to find out. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Do one thing. Take a screenshot of this page as well, and remember the formulas by heart. Okay. I will be asking the formulas in the next class.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Sir, I sent.
You have sent it? Good. Okay, 1925.92. Yeah. Yeah, that will be close to that one, 1925.92. Good. Now moving on. Here in this case, we were having a gain. We were having gain, guys. Okay. But what about if you are having loss? So in that case, how you'll find out the selling price and cost price if you are having some loss percent? So to find out selling price, the required formula is 100 minus loss percent upon 100 into cost price. Okay. And for cost price, it is 100 upon 100 minus loss percent
Yes.
multiplied selling price. Okay. So these are the two
Okay.
formulas which you guys are required to use. So if you're provided with cost price of a required item and the loss percent incurred upon selling it, so these two values are given, you can find out selling price. And in the same manner, if selling price and loss percent is given, you can calculate the cost price. Okay, so time is limited, so let's see if we can cover the questions. So one question I'm giving you guys here. Okay, so the cost price is, let's say, rupees 100. I'm putting it short. Okay, and the loss percent is 25%. Find the selling price. Okay, so Ahmed, this question
Okay,
is
sir.
for you. I'm separating the questions so we can cover the two formulas via the help of questions. So Ahmed, you solve this one. And Arhan,
Oh, okay, sir.
the selling price is rupees 250 and loss percent is 35%. Okay, you find the cost price.
Okay, sir.
'Meanwhile, you guys are solving it. Take the screenshot of the slide as well. 75%.
Please.
Ahmed, you're not required to find the percentage. You're required to find the selling price. So instead of percent, it's 75 only.
Oh, sorry, sir. I have
Okay, good.
taken it.
Okay, although the value is correct, just don't write percent next to it.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yes, Ran, I'm waiting for your answer.
Sir, sir, shall I tell it? It will
Yeah,
take time.
you can tell it.
Sir, the answer is in decimals. It is 384.61.
Okay. So it's 100 upon 65 multiplied 250. Okay. So 13, it's 50. Okay. So your answer came how much? 384, you were saying.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, okay, then it's correct then. Okay, it will be decimal and decimal. Okay, anyways.